open your PPT to page 1. So that is in short about me. I don't think I have to repeat it again because most of you are in the course since the very first day. So I'll just move on to the second, come to the third slide and we'll begin. So social media quotes, these are some generalistic quotes that I came across. You can add your own quotes. You can be more innovative or different in your approach. You can come up with some different quotes which are not used in the essay, and you can come up with your own quotes, but these are some of the quotes that I think are relevant in today's world. The first one is, the more social media we have, the more we think we are connecting, yet we are really disconnecting from each other. So when they ask you about social media, and it's when you have to criticize about social media, you can mention this quote, and that itself shows that how social media is affecting our life. So we think we are connecting, but actually we are becoming very lonely and very isolated people. We are actually seeking relationships, or seeking bonds in a virtual world which is not real. So that is how this quote can actually substantiate your argument, where it says that the more we think we are connecting, we are actually disconnecting. So when you have to criticize social media, when you have to give the negatives of social media, this one quote is going to be very helpful. The second quote is, technology and social media have brought power back to the people. Now this is on a positive note. So this is when you have to talk about social media and its positives. So either you can start your essay with one of the two quotes, but you can end, if you start your essay with the first quote, that means you're starting on a negative tone, and you are going to talk about the issues and the challenges of social media at first. But when you end your quote, you have to end it with something like this: technology and social media have brought power back to the people. So yes, somewhere social media is definitely disconnecting us from each other. We are dependent on our phones more than people and more than our family and friends, but it has also given power back to the people. So that is how your essay should be. That is the balance that I require. That is the balance that I'm always talking about, that you criticize, but then again you talk about the positives of that topic as well. So that is about the quotes. Today I've not given you many quotes. I want you all to research and come up with quote. If you just Google simple social media quotes, you're going to get all n number of quotes. So please do that. So that will actually help you get one extra mark in the exam, and that is what matters. The next thing, just come to slide 4. Next thing we have here is social media and the introduction. Now this is the introduction that I came up with, but I think you all can improvise in this, and you all can do better than this also. So what I thought, I have written it down here. It's how many followers do you have on Twitter? Did you check your WhatsApp status? Why do I not get more likes on Instagram? Should I share this on Facebook? These are some of the conversations that people are having these days. So social media has become an important part of our lives. 21st century is growing with good mornings on social media and good night through social media. But it does not end here. Social media has relevance today. Social media's relevance today goes way beyond this. So I have substantiated the negatives in the first part, that we are too much involved in social media in this way, that everybody is on Facebook, everybody is on Twitter, many people are active on WhatsApp. So we are all, like, social media is all around us. But still, I have also said that social media's relevance today goes beyond this. So it's not just about likes, followers, or about checking somebody's status. It is not about that. It is also, now you can add, the next sentence could be, it is also about information. It is also about educating people. It is also about raising awareness about some things. It is also about having global movements around the world. It is also about making people sensitive towards some topics which are never discussed. It is also about removing the stigma, removing the taboo. So that is how social media has more relevance than just, you know, sharing your life or life experiences on social media. So that is how your introduction will be concrete. In the sense, you've talked about, you've given the gist of what social media is. Then you begin with, then you can start with, then this is another way that you can start your essay with. Now, one introduction I've given you, you can either improvise this, you can use this, it is your choice. How you innovatively improvise it will be on you. So I want to see that how do you improvise on this introduction. The second thing in introduction that you can do is, you can write about an incident related to social media. And if it's related to pandemic, you have to write about social media and pandemic. So you can write about how people were not able to get beds, and there was no centralized system to allot beds. But then came up social media, and people started posting vacancies, people started posting, people started connecting the people who are in need to the people who can provide it. So that is what social media was. So you can explain one incident which happened. It can be an imaginary incident, but you know that these things were happening during the pandemic. So you can make your own story, or if you have personal experience, just put it in the form of a story in the third person, and just put it in a very neutral manner, that how social media has been helpful during the pandemic. In the same thing, you can also mention how social media was creating rumors and myths about vaccines and all such things. So that can be one incident that you can start your essay with. So that is one thing. The other thing is, you can just mention how marriages, online functions, live streams, education, influencers, alternate source of information, how social media is all this. You have attended marriages on social media because there were restrictions in the form of lockdown, social distancing. There were online functions conducted. So even when we got selected, our functions were online, so we had to do everything online. So how your graduation happened online, you can talk about different things that went online rather than offline. So we had to switch to online functions, and that is when social media came to our rescue. So that is how you should talk about social media. Then live streams about education, about awareness, about giving out information about the virus or anything. So whichever comes to your mind, just put it out there. Then there is education, so e-learning happened. There are many classes which go on through social media. There are many initiatives which are taken on Instagram or Twitter. There are handles which which take care of the education part. Like there are MPSC related guidance, UPSC related guidance on Instagram as well these days. So how education is also converting to social media and coming to social media, that is what you can talk about. Then you can talk about influencers in the sense how people are influencing other people in the way, in a positive manner as well, and in you can talk about a negative manner as well, but mostly talk about the positive manner, how the influencers are influencing people to talk about stigma topics, to destigmatize some things, how conversations are happening over social media. Like we had the Me Too movement, we had the Black Lives Matter movement. So these are some things which have taken place to such a large scale because of social media. So social media has played a very important role when we talk about all the social movements and all the global movements, climate change movement, so Greta Thunberg's movement, Fridays for Future movement. All these movements have taken place because of social media. If we wouldn't have social media, we wouldn't have known what is going on in other part of the world and how these movements would have spread in all the countries. So that is what social media has done for us. So that is what you can talk about. Then social media is also an alternate source of information, because many news channels have their own handles, they give out information. It is also an alternate source of income for many people, because through social media they can promote their promote their channel, promote their handles, they can give out information, they can promote their content. So many people are also looking at it as an income source. Then there is networking, so you can meet a lot of people on social media, so you can make friends, you can make business, you can make your business grow, you can make your you can come in contact with different people for job opportunities, for many such opportunities. So it is also networking, so it is also called a networking site for that very reason. Then global movements, I've already talked about this: Me Too, Black Lives Matter, Fridays for Future, all such movements. Awareness campaigns, again I've already spoken about this, and much more. Now in the much more, you have to add and you have to tell me what else can social media do for us and what it has done for us in all these years. Now other thing, I always emphasize on you to define the term that we are talking about, because defining the term means that you understand what you're talking about, what the term means to you. So that is why it is important that you define it in 2 lines. That is all that we need. We just need you to define the term so that we understand that you also understand what the word means. If you be very clear and specific about the definition, it is very very good. So just do that in 2 lines. That's it. So I have defined social media platforms in the manner such as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Now examples of these are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can add other many other things, but I have given these examples. The second thing that we come to is India has 574 million active internet users as of 2019. Now this is one figure that I want you all to remember, because in social media we do not have many figures, but this one figure you can definitely use, so that we come to know the importance of social media, importance of how internet users are increasing day by day. Also you can add one more figure here, that would be the social media users in India. So I want you all to get the figure from a government site and add it to your essay. So social media users in India, so add that one thing to your essay, so that you get a relevance. There will be a kind of relevance to your essay, and it will be a very like a robust essay when you write down the social media users. So if you get a very specific topic related to social media, you need to know the social media users, or at least write the internet users, so that we know what is the impact of social media around our country. So either remember the active internet users. Why I have written internet users is because you can use this for technology essay also. For anything related to internet and around internet, you can use this very figure. That's why I have not given you a specific social media figure, but I've given you an active internet users figure. So you can either remember this, or you can also get a proper social media users figure. So just one more assignment that I'm assigning you is get a social media users figure for the essay. Then next thing is India is the second largest online market behind China. Now this is also one thing you can remember, but this is not that important. The second point is very important, so please remember that one. And that is a recent figure, that is, it's still 2019, so you have to remember that. Now let's come to the next slide. Social media, what are its advantages? Now this is same as before that I've talked about, but again I'll explain it in short. So availability is one of the most important thing that social media provides. It is available and it is universally available, so there is no discrimination and divide in its availability. If you go out there, if you make your own account, you have social media at your doorstep. So just it is available, so there is no discrimination when it comes to its availability, and it is universally available to all. Second thing, accessible. So people can access social media very easily. They just need a phone and an internet connection, and they can be active on social media. So it's accessible, it's easily accessible. Third thing is it educates people. So people who were not even aware of the basic things are today aware about how and what is happening in Afghanistan, what is happening in different parts of the world. So how are we able to know this? Even if you see your own parents, they are talking about Afghanistan and all such things, and the news and everything is spreading at a very fast, and it's increasingly spreading to all and everywhere around the world. So one other thing that social media provides us is education. We are getting educated by just sitting at home and just having an internet connection and a phone. So that is third advantage that social media provides us. So when you explain these terms, I don't want you to explain it too much, but like I am explaining you in one sentences, I want you all to just explain it in one sentence. That is it. So when you're talking about education, you can give like I gave the example of Afghanistan. You can give example of anything that is happening. You can give Me Too movement, whichever thing you think has impacted and was known by all. So all such things you can use it when you're talking about education through social media. Fourth thing is help. So there are many charities, there are many awareness campaigns which are going on around on social media. So you might see that people appeal on social media when they are in need of help. So there were many videos, many messages which came up when there were floods in Kerala, when there were floods in Maharashtra as well. So it also is a platform which can help other people and connect them with people who can help them. So uh, help is what is the fourth point for social media, because it does connect people who are in the need of help and who can provide help. So you can mention COVID, you can mention floods, you can mention any disaster management situation where we have required help, or you can mention any personal problem that someone was facing and how social media came to its rescue and how it helped that very person to raise funds for a particular surgery or for a particular procedure or to get something done. So that is how social media helps us. The other thing it provides, it's same as information, it's same as education, which is information and updates. It provides us information, it provides us updates about what is happening around the world. Like WHO has a Instagram page, WHO has Twitter handle. So it gives out information through Twitter, wherein it tells you how to wash your hands, what is the proper way to wash your hands, how should you wear your mask. Either you should wear two masks or you should wear one mask, where to wear one mask and where to use two masks. So all such information updates are provided through social media. Even a government has presence on social media today, and government also comes up with updates and information for us. So government also has handles, so different ministries give out information about their own ministry and what all developments are happening in the ministry, what all projects are being implemented, which project is completed, which project has achieved a milestone. All such updates and information is provided through social media. So that is about information and updates. Then Noble Cause is again about charity and the movements around the world. So it is also on the similar lines. Awareness I've already talked about. So information, updates, awareness, help, all these are on the same terms, but I have just put it out there so that you know which words to use. So even if you use help and awareness differently, it won't be a problem. So you can use awareness regarding whatever government schemes, awareness regarding the different problems, awareness regarding global events, global movements, and all such things. And social issues is again same, on the similar line. Like our Me Too movement is one of the social issue. Even climate change is a social, somewhat a social issue. Black Lives Matter was a social issue. All such movements, you can even look into Indian movements which happened on the similar lines, and you can talk about it. Like we had a movement for corruption. That is when social media actually came and people got to know about it. So everything was active on Facebook when we had the corruption movement, when we had the Lokpal movement. So you can talk about all such things when you talk about social issues. Now, in this, we'll come to a very specific benefits of social media. Now, these were very generalistic. So, availability, accessibility, education, help, information, updates. These are very generalistic. These anybody can think of and anybody can write. But now the other thing is, now you have to be thoda sa mature in your approach, and this is how you will be mature in your approach when you use the proper words. Now, when we say about vocabulary, it's not about fancy words, definitely, but you have to use the correct terms when we talk about the vocabulary. So here we talk about democratization of information. Now, what does democratization of information mean? Now, it means same as availability and accessibility, that it is universally accessible. There is no discrimination in its availability, and information is available to everyone and anyone. So that is how you write it down. So you have to write democratization of information. Social media is allowing the democratization of knowledge and broader communication. Even if you don't want to use the word democratization, you can use any alternate word to it, that social media is allowing the universal access of knowledge and broader communication. You can just simply put it like that. The second thing is new opportunities. Again, this gives a very mature feeling about the writer, because you are using professional terms here. New opportunities. So the rise of virtual world provides voiceless people unprecedented opportunities. It's unlimited opportunities to assert themselves and experience a sense of belonging. So many voiceless people, like people who could not raise their voice in the public, are using social media to raise their voice, because they can anonymously put out their views. If they are not comfortable sharing their name, they can anonymously put out their views, and they can anonymously raise their voice and talk about their experiences. So what we see during a Me Too movement is girls and women came out and they shared their stories. So these women were really, before they were voiceless, they did not have the strength to come out, but because of social media they got the strength to talk about their problems, to talk about their experiences, and that is how it is providing voiceless people the strength and the ability to assert themselves and experience a sense of belonging. So all these women, they had a sense of belonging because one shared their experience, the other supported the experience. So there was a sense of belonging when we see all such movements happening on social media. So there is also another movement that I've talked about is LGBTQ plus. So if you know any such movements, you can mention those. Now these are some broad movements that I'm talking about, but you can come up with some very specific movements which happened in your district, which happened in your city, which were related to, there could be chase the virus. अशा पण बऱ्याच movements होत्या ज्या आपण म्हणजे बघितलं during COVID times also. So you can use those movements also, because that is how voiceless people got the voice and they started asserting themselves, they started expressing themselves on social media. The third thing is wider reach. We've already talked about it, that it can reach from here. I can just post something and someone sitting in US can read it. So it has a wider reach. It can reach anywhere and everywhere. So you can be located in any country, any city, and you can still see what is happening around the world. So wider reach is another aspect. Then wider and heterogeneous communities. So heterogeneous community, again LGBTQ plus, everyone, there is no discrimination, all and everyone who from any community, any background can come on social media and express themselves. So that is how social media is helping people. Then cheap and easy. uh, Cheap and easy was not covered before, so it is cheap as compared to uh, other forms and other modes of expressing yourself. Like you don't have to go to the court, or you don't have to have some influence already. You can create your own influence through social media. So that is how social media is cheap and it's easy for our use. Then there is closing the distance. Now I have talked about this, but this is specifically related to how geographical distances don't matter anymore, because family and friends are now connected over WhatsApp and other apps despite being far away in distance. So I am sure everybody has a family group, everybody has some college friends group. There are so many groups. So we are connected through WhatsApp. So it is closing the distance. It is reducing the distance that we before felt. So it is not possible for us to always have time to call someone, right? We cannot talk to someone over phone, but we can definitely give 2 minutes to write a message and be updated on a group or on Facebook as to what is happening in their life and be happy for them. So that is how social media is closing the distance between family and friends, and now they are connected to a next level, so despite being far away. That is another thing that social media is doing. The third thing in this is direct interaction with government. Now this is a very important point. Do not miss out on this point at all, because this is something which is relevant today. Because today social media has empowered common people to directly interact with government and avail government services directly. So if you see, you can just tag a government ministry, you can just tag a government you can just tag a union minister or state minister or your chief minister, and you can share your problems. And it is very much possible that they look at your problem and they come across your problem and they solve your problem. So you can connect with the government very easily through social media, uh, especially during Miss Sushma Swaraj's term. She used to help people a lot through social media. So there were many uh, people who approached her through social media. They used to tag her if they did not have a passport, or if they had some problem with immigration, if they were stuck in some country. So that is how people got connected with the government. Also there are many incidents. You can just go through the, how many government ministries are tagged on a daily basis. So there is environment related problems. So people also post pictures related to garbage, that the garbage has not been collected from our locality or our area, and they just post that picture and they tag the environment ministry with it. And the environment ministry then takes into account, acknowledges the problem. So such things are happening because of social media. So this direct interaction with government was not possible before. There was some sort of elitism with which the people felt, but now that is not there. There is more transparency, there is more accountability and people participation in all such things because of social media. So there is direct interaction with government. That is one point that I do not want you all to miss, because it is very important. Now again, when we talk about the positives, definitely there are going to be some negatives, and also about social media there are many negatives, but we have to balance out these negatives and see to it that how we use the positives to our advantage. Now the negatives that we have are cyber crimes, hacking, identity thefts. These are on similar terms, that is why I've put them together. So cyber crimes, hacking, identity thefts, this is a very common thing that is happening. Hacking is very common, you all know. Cyber crimes madhe pan, if you know, there are ransomwares, there are malwares, there are different sorts of virus which are affecting your usage, which is affecting your computer resources. So all such things are happening. So this is also a very big disadvantage of social media, and we have to protect ourselves from this, because this can also affect our country's security. It can also affect our country's important documents can be hacked, important things can be known, and all such. There could be cyber attacks on our important documents or security related documents. So that is also a very important thing that we need to avoid when it comes to social media. Next thing is addiction, waste of time, depression, loneliness. This we all know why it is an addiction, why it is a waste of time, why it has led to problems like depression. It has led to loneliness. Loneliness I've already talked about, because we are trying to make virtual bonds. We are trying to get involved in a virtual world, which is definitely not real, and that's why we face loneliness, because we are not talking to people around us, but we are just focused on our social media and on our phones. So that has led to loneliness and depression. The third thing is privacy issues. Definitely there are privacy issues, because we don't know if somebody's snooping around, if your phones are hacked. So there was Pegasus case, which is a very big example of how privacy can be affected, and privacy is still a problem. But we are doing things about privacy. We have right to privacy under our fundamental rights. We also are coming up with data protection bill, which is with the parliament committee. So we are doing things, but there is a lot more that we have to do. We have to create awareness amongst people to be very cautious while using social media. Be very cautious about your privacy. Do not share your personal details, do not share your bank details, and all such things when it comes to social media, usage of social media. Other thing is hate speech and rumors. The prime example of this was the Delhi riots, which took place in 2020. You can also talk about when it comes to hate speech and rumors, especially when you talk about rumors. I'll come to the pandemic specific part, but when we talk about rumors, you can also talk about the migrant crisis, which happened because of the rumors and because of the fear which was created due to this rumors. Then hate speech, rumors, fake news is again a very important disadvantage. It's actually these are actually the issues and challenges that we face rather than disadvantage. So you can write it down under issues and challenges rather than disadvantages. So that would be a better term. Then online trolling. All of us see that. All of us have seen examples of online trolling, anonymous trolls, uh, attacks on the reputation of an individual. So all this is happening, which needs to be prevented. People need to be made sensitive when it comes to using the social media. We have to see to it that the other person's feelings are not hurt. So we have to be very responsible while using social media. So that is very important. Then women's safety. There's objectification, there are cyber threats to women, and there could be cyber threats to anyone, but the objectification part is important when we talk about women's safety. So remember that. So we talked about cybercrime, addiction and waste of time, privacy issues, hate speech, rumors, fake news, online trolling, and women's safety. Now, let's come to the specific part of social media and pandemic. Now, what were the positive roles played by social media during the pandemic? It definitely served as a crucial conduit between families, friends, office, and medium of entertainment. So, we all were sitting at home, we had nothing to do. Uh, it's not like we did not have anything to do, but we were stuck at home most of the time. So, work was shut, everything was shut. We could not go out, we could not meet our families who were in different and far away places, we could not meet our friends, our offices were shut, we had to work from home. So in such a situation, social media provided us a platform from where we can connect with our families, we can connect with our friends, we can work from home. And it was also a media of entertainment for those who could not do anything else, who could not go out, who could not work, who could not meet anyone else, and especially for people who were alone, who were staying alone. So social media was the one which came to the rescue. तुम्ही सगळ्यांनीच बघितलं असेल की देर वॉज अ व्हॉट्सॲप ॲड. So there were many such ads which showed how you can continue your learning, how you can continue your health treatment. So there is one ad which shows where the nurse contacts her patient, and she cannot go to the patient because of obviously lockdowns, but she is in continuous contact through WhatsApp. So such advertisements also can be used by you to show how social media actually helped us during the pandemic, when talking about the positive role played by the pandemic. Now, second thing that it did was it was a reliable way for victims of COVID to communicate with the outside world. Now, victims of COVID could not, the patients could not meet their family, could not meet their friends for obvious reasons. So, that is when they communicated with the outside world through social media. Then, third thing is online fundraisers. Fundraisers like there were many PM Cares Fund. So we raised funds, and also on a private basis through NGOs, through other organizations. We raised fund on social media for people who were in need of extreme care, extreme ICU beds, or some surgery or lung transplantation. For all such things, there was a huge fund required, and all such things happened through social media. So there were many online fundraisers which were happening on social media. You can write about that. The other thing is scientists used it to collaborate. So all around the world, scientists had to collaborate, and scientists had to brainstorm. They had to think about ways to overcome the virus, its different strains, how it is mutating. All such things and all such information was most of the time shared through social media, and they collaborated through social media. So that is how it also helped us. The other thing is social media displays and strengthens solidarity against the virus. So there was so much fear during the COVID times that we needed some sort of hope, some sort of moral strength, and that came from social media, especially when our Prime Minister called for clapping for the COVID warriors. I am sure all of us has done that. So that is how it created a solidarity against the virus, and it made us strong. It kept us going. So that is how social media actually helped display solidarity against the virus, that we are all in this together. So that is another thing that social media has done when it comes to pandemic. Now next is, it was used to spread preventive steps. I've already talked about this, that it helped us spread preventive measures that we can take to fight COVID-19. Like it showed us 20 seconds, how are we supposed to wash our hands for 20 seconds, how are we supposed to wear our mask, which mask to wear, which is the best mask, should we go with N95 or should we use a cloth mask, how to wear a PPE kits, who should wear the PPE kits, how are you supposed to use the shield. All such things were told to us through social media. WHO has its own handle, our Maharashtra government has its own handle. So all these things were given to us through social media. Now social media platforms became COVID-19 helplines to combat second wave. Especially in second wave, the social media was completely a COVID-19 helpline. If you just see, if you would have opened your Instagram or your Facebook, you would have seen many posts related to need of oxygen, need of beds, need of ambulance, need of this, need of that, and people were connecting each other on social media. Like they were like, this person needs the bed, this person has the bed. So people were connecting each other on social media. So that is what happened in the second wave. Social media became a COVID-19 helpline. Then to inform the public about outbreak and control of panic, that was also another thing. Facebook has promised to ban ads related to which promises cures for COVID-19 viruses. So there was some responsible behavior from social media handles, social media platforms also. Like Facebook promised that it will ban all the ads that promise to cure the COVID-19 virus. So there were no such cures for COVID-19 virus, but there were many fake accounts that were giving out cures for we'll cure COVID-19 virus. So Facebook took this initiative to ban such ads. So this also you can explain how the social media platforms showed a responsible behavior when it comes to handling the pandemic. The next negatives are similar to what we have already seen, but when it comes to pandemic specific, write about the migrant crisis, rumor mongering. You can write about vaccine hesitancy, how there were myths about vaccine, that if you take the vaccine you will die, all such things about vaccine. So there were different myths about vaccines, and that's why vaccine hesitancy increased. People were not taking vaccine in the very beginning when it was available, and later on they started taking it. Even now we have a lot of vaccine hesitancy, but we have controlled it to a large extent. So how rumor mongering has led to vaccine hesitancy, that is another thing that you should mention while writing about pandemic. Then is lack of filtering on online platforms negates any authentication mechanism. So there is no filtering on online platform, anybody can post anything. So the filtering takes time. You have to first report it as spam, or you have to first report it, and many people have to report it. Then the social media platform will acknowledge it and then take an action. So there is no filtering. That is also one thing, that fake news spreads fast, and it goes viral, and it is already viral. Even if you block it after some time, it has already done the damage that it has to done. So there is no filtering in social media. That needs to be taken care of. The social media platforms have to come up with some sort of filtering, so that the account is authentic, the person giving out the information is authentic, and it is verified. Now, in short, I'll just go through what technology actually means and how you should handle a topic related to technology. So technology you can define. I've already given you the quotes. There is one quote related to technology also, so you can use that. Both the quotes are actually valid for technology as well. So the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industry, is one of the definitions of technology. Then the use of science and industry, engineering, to invent useful things or to solve problems is what technology means. Now, while writing technology, you have to explore different sectors. So while writing technology, you cannot have a issues and challenges and solutions approach. You have to have a sectoral approach. So you have to talk about different sectors and how technology has helped in different sectors, like agricultural growth, food security. So when we talk about agricultural growth, you can talk about the different machines that are available in agriculture, the micro irrigation devices, the different types of irrigation that is now available, food security. The same thing you have to do in industry, services and infrastructure development, energy security, health, disaster preparedness, internal and external security like defense. There are many other sectors that also you can add, but these are the important sectors that I felt that you should not miss, and you should explore these sectors while writing a technology related topic. So if they just give you technology, then you have to explore the different sectors. But if they give you a specific technology related to some specific field, then you have to talk more about that one field that they give you. So if they tell you technology in health or technology in agriculture or such thing, like we saw e-learning, if they give you e-learning, then you have to talk only about the education field. So when they give you a general term as technology, then please explore these all sectors that I've given you. Show how technology has impacted these sectors, and how talk about both the positives as well as the negatives. And in industry, if you see, we can say that automation has helped us reduce the time taken for manufacturing a product or giving out a service, but it has also impacted the employment. So many people are unemployed because of automation. So you can give a balanced approach to it. So what to do about that, and how to solve that issue, how to use technology positively and also not let it hamper our labor force. Then technology related to the pandemic. So pandemic specific, what all technologies have we used, I'll just talk about that in brief. So artificial intelligence was used. Artificial intelligence enabled fever detection cameras were there. Deep learning to predict the virus patterns. So this was used by scientists to see how the virus is changing, how the virus is mutating. So that is artificial intelligence. Second thing we did was robots. So robots like robots were deployed for taking samples to deliver the essential supplies. Especially you can mention the Kurmi bot from Kerala, which was used to give supplies to the patients, and so for contactless delivery basically we used the robots. Third thing we used was the drones, monitoring, contactless delivery, and surveillance. So, if you see the Dharavi model, we use the drones to survey for surveillance purposes and to monitor that people are not coming out of their houses and they're staying in the house, they're following the social distancing norms, they're following the lockdown rules. So that is how we use the drones. Drones were also used on Mumbai Pune Expressway to monitor the speeds and to see to it that people are driving with speed limits. So drones you can use. Drones has to be written. Then GPS tracking of patients. We all know that this happened. We were tracking the patients who were positive and who were told to stay in the house and isolate themselves. So we were tracking them through the phone. So that is another thing that we used during the pandemic. Then distance learning, we have already talked about this. Telehealth, self-help kits, 3D printing. Now ventilators and all such things were printed around the world with 3D printing. So 3D printing also came in handy to help us. Then information and communication technology, you can just mention Arogya Setu app and how it helped us, and working from home is another example of the same. Now same challenges of technology as well. It's on the similar lines, but there are some differences. So cybersecurity threats is same, but the skill gap widens. So many of the people are not aware about how to use technology. So there is a skill gap which is there. So there are some people who know how to use technology, and there are some people who are not at all technology friendly, not at all technology savvy. So we have to bridge this skill gap. We have to make them learn how to use the technology and make it friendly for them. Then there is data protection and privacy, also again on the same line. Business continuity. So technology can hamper your businesses when it comes to continuity of it. Supply chain can be hampered because there are technical glitches, there are breakdowns. So you need to have a proper internet connection, you have to have proper electricity supplies when we talk about the continuity. Then supporting infrastructure, again we do not have the supporting infrastructure to deploy such technology. Even if we talk about basic things like e-learning, even today we do not have the back-end infrastructure to give out e-learning on a universal and to all. So that is what we require. We require the supporting infrastructure when we talk about technology. And deep fakes is again similar to fake news and fake videos. It's basically fake videos which are fabricated. So deep fakes I've just mentioned it because you should mention fake news and all such things. Those are also related to technology itself. Now conclusion is something that I want you all to do. So you have to write about how we can effectively use it for our benefit and how we can restrict its negatives. Now while writing conclusion, you can do this. You can I'll just give you some pointers, but I want you all to come up with the solutions on your own. So first thing is we can use artificial intelligence to filter certain type of content. Second thing we should do is we should fight misinformation, that is fake news, with information. So you have to create awareness campaigns. You have to create awareness among people that this is fake news. We have to always check whether it is a real news or fake news. And there were many awareness campaigns also which held and which educated people as to how to check whether it is fake news or real news. Then you can do is you can create public awareness, bring in regulation. So we already have social media rules which are in place today, for especially for significant social media users, social media beneficiaries. So there is intermediary rules which are already in place, which talks about the grievance redressal mechanism, which has a nodal person where you can report. So write about those rules, that we have brought in the rules and we already have regulation in place. Then talk about the legal measures that we are taking, like the data protection bill that we already have, and we are contemplating about it. So all such things, so on a legal basis, on an administrative basis, on a personal basis, what all we can do to prevent the negatives of social media, how to make people aware, and how to make them sensitive towards using the social media. So come up with some innovative ways to limit its misuse. Example, the Mumbai police Twitter handle. So it is a very innovative thing that I'm sure that you all also have seen how Mumbai police Twitter handle is very innovative when it gives out information, when it tells you to follow rules. So it is very creative in its information. So we want such things to happen on a large basis. We want such things to be taken seriously by all the other Twitter handles that are around there, so that people are aware and people become more responsible in using social media, and we use it for the right purposes. So that is what you can do. You can mention such other examples also who are responsibility using the social media. So do that. And for today you have two essay topics. You can write any one, or you can write both, but these are the two essay topics that I want you to prepare. At least prepare the synopsis. If you do not want to write a 400 words essay, please prepare a synopsis as to how you're going to write the essay. So social media, boon or bane, and technology in the times of COVID. So these are two essay topics that I want you all to prepare. Here we come to the end